Welcome back, and thanks for joining me on my journey through TerraFirmaCraft. Today, I have a nice build in store, something I've been planning on getting to. I wanted to get to for about a week now. Finally got to it, now we're going to do it. And it's going to be high tech. About as high tech as you're going to get in TerraFirmaCraft. But before I do that, let's take care of some housekeeping. A couple things I did off camera I just wanted to show you. Let's start down here. If you remember when we made this, we circled every tree with andesite bricks. So I went back through them, busted up all the andesite bricks, and just laid down different cobblestone for each tree type, just as decorations. I used that andesite brick to outline under the fence here, because this was all grass. I used it to outline this fence here, all the way up and back that way. I also extended this to 3 wide, and I planted 3 birch trees here. And I did the dirt trick here. So hopefully, yeah, no grass will grow, and no tall grass or any more saplings will sprout up over here. So it just keeps it neat, nice and neat. You could see I just put a little wall here, so it's just even. It looks cool, I like it. I'll figure out something to do in here. I'll probably plant some trees. And I went and got sand. Went on that journey to my sand pit, got the sand, got a whole ton of sand. So I was able to finish this, so this is all done now. Also, big news. I went on a little exploration down that way, in that direction. Never been in that direction before. Was loading some new chunks. Came across a strange yellow flower. Had no idea what it was, had to research it. I noticed it was only growing on clay. And sure enough, when I researched it, it's some new flower they added in, I don't know what build, a recent build, that only grows on clay. You can't get the flower though. You get no drop from it. When you punch it, it just breaks and disappears. It's just a way to give people a visual clue of where clay is. Because when grass grows on top of clay, you can't even see it. So that's cool. That was nice to find that. The big news though, the exciting news is I found limestone. Limestone is one of the 3 stones I'm missing in my collection. And I found it. It's not even too far that way. So that's cool. I made a little quarry. I marked the coordinates. So now I have a supply of limestone, which is cool because I'm going to use that on a build that's still being planned right now. So, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Alright. Oh, and by the way, that was all live streamed. So, that footage is still up on Twitch. If you want to go check that out, you can. I think it's about a 3-hour live stream. But alright, let's get busy today. I don't want to waste too much time. So let's get this started. First thing I'm going to do is just start off by finishing this. I made slate bricks. We're going to finish this. It's going to extend to about right here. I still don't have everything planned out exactly where I want it, but... Okay. Now let's talk about what I am going to be building over here as I lay down these rhyolite bricks. Now, I'm going to build another charcoal maker. And you might say to yourself, well, why are you going to build another one? You just built one. It's a pretty cool one. Why would you even bother building another one? You don't need it. And you're right, I don't need it. But here's what I want to do. Basically, the idea that I had on the old one, the other one we just built with the way the block, no matter how far it's chiseled down, it still takes up the block space. So I'm basically going to take that idea and just go crazy with it. This is going to be like so weird. It's an idea that I had, and I just got to do it. I got to make it. I don't need it, but I just want to take that idea and run with it because I think this will be cool. Now, you know, Yeah, I don't need it, but not everything we do here is out of necessity. Some things are done for artistic purposes, um, inspirational purposes. If anything I do inspires you guys to do something, and just generally to throw ideas out there. Like, and this is the perfect example. We just built a charcoal pit. We don't need another one, but I'm gonna build another one because it's gonna be built totally different, and it'll definitely maybe inspire other people to do other things in this kind of the same fashion. But this is just the base of what I'm building now. Now this one, actually, it looks huge. It looks like it's going to be gigantic, but it's not. It's actually going to be small. It's only going to be a 3 by 3. The actual charcoal making area is only going to be 3 by 3. And too high, but I could always dig in the ground and make more if I wanted to. I decided to put it over here because, well, we just don't need one over there. We just don't need another one. I originally wanted to put it in the tree pit, but why? We got a big functioning one over there. This one's just more for design, and we just put it over here. It fits in over here, and plus there's a lot of trees over here that I'll be cutting down, so we can just cook them up right over here too. And let me explain, there was already a huge monkey wrench thrown in my plans. The original design was a 9 by 9, but I can't do that because this is a 4 wide trail, and that's just too uneven. It just wouldn't work out. It wouldn't look right. Where would I place the door? So I extended it to a 10 by 9. I think it's still going back 9. No, it's a 10 by 10 now. The inside's still going to be a 3 by 3 though, so I'm going to have to like work around that. The insulating layer is just going to have to be too wide on one side. I don't see why it wouldn't work. I didn't try it yet. I'm just looking at it in my mind, trying to figure out any reasons why it wouldn't work. I think it'll work. I'm just going to have to go with it. Alright, so I'm going to get more rhyolite bricks and we'll get started on this. Alright, so I got some markings down here. Now, let me throw this marble down just as a guide, because I really want to start on the middle first. And let me try and further explain now that I actually got something that you could look at. So there's going to be an outer layer. Everything is going to be chiseled down to slabs except these 4 posts, which are going to stand 3 high. Then the middle layer is going to be all water, and the inner layer is going to be, again, where the simple 3 by 3 charcoal pit will be, and it's going to be surrounded by chiseled bricks, or chiseled chalk actually. And I hope I got enough, because I don't, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I have enough. Everything's going to be chiseled down to slabs, and the slabs are going to be what hold back the water. The roof is going to be this kind of step looking roof. It kind of looks futuristic. It's going to be cool when I totally get done. So now the way I'm going to do this is, this is going to be too high. I'm going to have to get under here, so it's going to be a lot of breaking this up, but it's only brick, so. So I'm going to make a band going around this 3 by 3, and it's going to be one layer, the top layer of the bottom stone, and the bottom layer of the top stone, and it's going to be slabbed all the way back. Let me do one so you could see. Now I want to go with a minimalist approach to this. I want as little brick showing as possible. That's why everything is going to be chiseled down. And you know what? I messed up already because I actually wanted that to be on this side of the brick. I chiseled it all the way back here, but I want it to be over here. Alright, so already starting with the mistakes. Let me do that again the right way. But I'm going to go around the whole thing now. So that's all it's going to be is that. See, now this takes up 2 spots. It takes up this, it occupies this space right here, and it's occupying the space on top of it. This little band, which is going to go all the way around. It's going to cover all 4 sides. 2 layers. All 4 sides of this. Okay, check that out. I put the charcoal in there, or the wood in there, to give you a better visual. So now you really could see what I'm talking about. This is technically a fully functional charcoal pit. I can light this right now and it would work. So now let me explain what I did here. These bands, just like I said before, the problem before was I chiseled them back against this way. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the band on the outermost layer, the outermost slab of the block. So there's 2 here. This bottom one is taking up the bottom. This top one is taking up the top. So that covers, this band will cover this whole side. This band covers this side, and this side. And right here I made a 2 wide doorway so it will line up evenly with this, with the 4 wide walkway. Now the doorway is made the same way as the other one. I had to micro chisel out the middle, and this is just an outline. The top, as you can see, it's just like a halo going around the top with a bar in the middle to sufficiently cover the middle block. To make it even, this one had to be 2 wide instead of 1 micro block wide like the outline, the halo. So all 6 sides of this wood pile is covered. This can function. This can make charcoal as it is. Now you're looking at it, you're saying, hey, it's why is that? My OCD's going off like crazy here. Well, there's nothing I could do about that. This is a 3x3. As you know, the charcoal pit has to be an odd number because you have to be able to light the middle. But this is the inner layer, so don't worry about that. You're not going to see that. Well, you're barely going to see it. The outer layer, it was a 9x9, but I fixed it. It's going to be a 10x10. It's going to look symmetrical, and it's going to fit in perfectly with this 4 wide. The outer layer will have a 2 wide doorway too. Now, you could get a little sneak peek of where the water is going to fill in. I'm going to drop a water block right here, a source block, and it's going to stay there. It's not going to go that way. I still got some chiseling to do over here. This will be a water block, actually. This whole layer will be water. This whole layer will be water blocks. It's going to go in here and come around here. The water's going to be like, think of it like insulation. And then on the outside, to keep the water in, it's just going to be these bands. 2 of them. It'll go 3 high. And then the top is a little bit more complicated, but when we get to that, we'll get to that. So now you kind of see what's going on here. I know I don't really explain things well. I do things well. But one thing I did notice, I'm going to fall terribly short on chalk. I'm using raw chalk for this because I don't want the lines going through here. See, like the lines in the bricks? I don't want this to be all liney. It gives it that futuristic look. The 4 posts, the 4 corners, I like having bricks, but not the bands. I want them to be like smooth. Okay, so I actually started building this. I got a couple of beams done over here and actually scrapped it, tore it down. I went and acquired a whole bunch of chalk as I was reconfiguring this in my mind, and I'm going to do it a little bit different now. Alright, so I don't want to waste too much time because this is going to take a long time to do. But I do want to show you how I get some of this. I want to build like the corner. Show you how I do the corner. Alright, this is going to go up here. I think 4 times is good. Alright, each corner is going to look like that, but I'm only going to build this corner up right now. this is going to be a ton of making slabs. So I'm going to knock that back into its last slab. From the top, I'm always going to go down 4. And from the bottom, go up 3. And that leaves me with that little piece right there. Now I'm going to do a lot of cutscenes here because, like I said, this is going to take a long time and I don't want to spend too much time doing this. I don't want to spend too much time filming every little thing. Alright, so what I'm going to do is that same piece on this one, and then on this side, and this side. Okay, so we end up with this interesting looking thing. Next step is to do this. Now everything is going to be the same. Always hit 3 from the bottom. And 4 from the top. So it keeps everything equal. Alright, so I'm just going to do that on each one again, on all 6 of these pieces sticking out. Alright, and this is what we get. Now, I gotta get, next phase is to get a piece up here, so like this. This tree's gonna have to get cut down. I believe right there is where I want it. Now this one's going to go all the way down to the bottom. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, that's right. Alright, I'm going to put another one on this side. Alright, when we got these 2 pieces in place, now this is when it starts to get weird. Now I have to do this. We'll put one there, chisel it back. And I'm going to do another one here. Now we got to go into micro chisel mode. And we're going to make an L. Like that. See, we're going to leave that last slab there and also leave a piece on the bottom. Okay, like that. And this is all going to get chiseled out. That square I left in there, I'm just not going to do it right this second. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Alright, now this all has to do with how it's going to hold the water back and still take up, fill up the block. I'm also going to extend these another, I'm going to extend these another block out. So I'm going to do that. Well, that's done pretty much. I'll get rid of that. Extend these one, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Alright, I actually didn't micro chisel out these pieces. The reason being is I don't want to start confusing myself. So if I keep that there, I'll know that that's a whole, I'll know where the whole block is, and it'll be easier for me. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. Alright, next piece is going to go like this. Now this is going to be another weird one. I got to get in a right angle. You want to get on this side, chisel it all the way back this way. Get rid of that. Oh, it fell. Maybe I could do this from down here. And it's going to be another L piece. like that. Now I'm doing this because I'm going to have a source block of water right here. So I want the water to be able to fill this space and fill this space touching the brick. And to do that, you have to make this one brick and just chisel out the edge there like that. So now I'm going to put another one right there, and same thing, 2 on top of this side, just like I did on that side. It's looking really strange, but this is how it gets done. So I did the same thing. I left the middle there just so I don't confuse myself. Just want to point something out. When I'm chiseling on this side, I chisel the block down 7.7 hits that way towards the corner. Now when I'm on this side, I chisel the block 7 times that way towards the corner. So the corner and 3 spaces out is considered, everything is chiseled inward towards that corner. Now when I do this side, these blocks are going to get chiseled 7 times that way towards that corner. These 3 spaces, because there's 6 spaces in between each corner. Alright, so that's just a little note if anybody's if anybody wants to replicate this. Alright, next piece, I'm going to put that right there. And this gets chiseled down into just a little tiny stick slab. There we go. And I'm going to put another one right on this side. Oh, I fell down. Alright, I just put in these 2 pieces right here. And one of the last pieces to go will be right here. And again, this gets chiseled down into a little stick slab. It's going in towards the corner, then down. Alright, and I'm just going to put another one right on the other side right there. Okay, so I joined these 2 pieces here. Now, that's about 95% of it as far as one corner is concerned. There are little things I could tweak here and there, like I don't know if I want to. I could lay a stick slab here, connecting these 2, but I don't know if I want to do that yet. I want to see it when it's fully done, and that would be that's not in the way or anything. That's not going to change the structure. I could just add that later on when the whole thing is done. But so let's get that done. I just got to do that in all 3 corners and just connect them. They're pretty much those. See, that's 3 out, which is halfway already. So when I do this one, it'll connect. It'll look just like that. These are only 2 out, but it's simple enough. Just going to be another little slab here, and it'll connect and it'll go all the way around. So all 4 corners will look like that. Also, when I get all that done, I'll be able to chisel all this out because most of the work will be done. I won't be confused anymore. That took a whole stack of 32 chalk, by the way, just to do this. Alright, so I'm going to get busy. Well, let's start with this is it. This is the wiry skeleton-looking beast that it has become. This thing is huge. This is huge. It was never intended to be this big. The outside. I think what happened when I made that on-the-fly decision to change it from a 9x9 to a 10x10. I really didn't foresee it being this big. There's 3 spaces in between here, and it was only supposed to be 2. Actually 1. It was only supposed to be 1. When I conceived it and made a half-working prototype, there was only 1 space there. But then when I started building it here, I wanted to accommodate this 4 wide road. I wanted everything to be symmetrical. So that's when I extended the dimensions, and that caused a hell of a lot of trouble when I was building this. And actually I had to stop building it for a day and take a break because this was just turning into a pain. Too many unexpected things I was running into. But anyway, I got through it. I got the skeleton done. And then I'm walking around looking in here and I'm saying, you know, this is just, there's too much space in here. What's going on? I have to be able to fill more of this space. And I said, let me go back to the drawing board really quick. And I was under the impression that charcoal pits had to be an odd number because you had to light the center with a fire, of course. Now, maybe this is one of those other ignorant things, just like the grass. I've been playing TFC for a long time. I guess sometime when I first started playing and I researched charcoal pits, I was under the impression that they had to be odd number and you had to put a pit in the middle, a fire in the middle, and that's the way I've been doing it all this time. So I went to test something out, and it turns out that you can make an even number charcoal pit, meaning a 4x4 I can make. And all you have to do is light one piece it just has to be in the middle. As long as it's surrounded by all wood, it will still burn. It'll still turn to charcoal. So what I'm going to do is break this. I'm going to get rid of this and redo the center charcoal pit to fill in more of the space because there's just too much empty space here. I think I can make it a 4x4 and that will be exactly what I need. So I'm going to do that. And the other thing I'm going to do is, if you look at all these corners now have these missing pieces. These right here, they stop like that. I'm going to tediously go around the whole thing and fill every little corner piece with a micro block and fix all the little things like this. You can see they're everywhere. All those corners up there need to be filled with a micro block. All these, even this piece right here, that right there. So I'm going to do that. And this should be the last thing I have to do before we could fill it with water and get this thing done. Now that looks a lot better to a lot of people because it's now even on the inside. Alright, so let's get a last look at it before we start filling this up with water. So here's the inside. It's now even. I was able to extend this by a 4x4, and this is what I mean. This will work. Oh, I forgot to put a log there. There we go. So this will work. You just light your fire right there, cover this up with 2, and you got a 4x4 charcoal pit. This don't go here. Alright, so now around the whole thing there's only 2 spaces, which is how I figured it was going to end up. But now it's even around the whole thing instead of having 3 on that side and 2 over here and 2 over there and 3 on this side. Here are the doorways. Nice and cool. I went around the whole thing. I filled in all the little gaps. With this, how I fixed that was I just made them extend and go around. Just keep going around so it looks like one continuous frame there. And we head up here. This I chiseled down a slab of quartz, which is what this is. No, this is marble. And fit it right on top there, so those two were joining into that. The top, the very top, all I did from what I showed you on camera with the corner is, this is the problem. This is what's driving me insane with this thing. Here we go. So I made these two extend. Well, I took these two and just extended it all the way across to that side, and then these two just go into that. That's it. Here's the top of this. This is all covered. Alright, so here's how this is going to go. Now I made my little infinite pool in where the wood goes. I don't want water to start up there and just flow down. I want every single block to be a source block. So that means this is going to take like an hour in itself. I just have to go around everywhere and making sure I put a source block. Check it out, we're 2 blocks up. Everything is a source block, that's why there's no water flowing water sound. Let's check it out from out here. Oh, it's looking cool. I like it. I like the way it's coming out now. Now all that hard work seems to be worth it. Alright guys, I'm finishing up the last source blocks right here. And this turns out it wasn't that bad once I figured out to use bricks to partition it off and do it at little sections at a time. That's it. Let's take a look at it, shall we? We'll come down here first and fill this in. Here we go. Alright, check it out. Nice. That is nice. It definitely has that futuristic, sleek look that I was going for. Let's get some close looks here. Yeah, I definitely like the way it came out. Alright. The door, by the way, this is intentional, this door. It's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be water source blocks here. Because I wanted it to look like you're going through a portal. It looks like you're passing this futuristic building and you like go through a portal to a different planet, collect your charcoal, and then you like warp back to planet Earth here. Or wherever the heck we are. One thing that was driving me insane is you can see when I stand in the water over here, it's nice and clear. You see that? You see the floor is nice and clear. You could see everything. But over here, it's like you could only see the block that you're standing in. I thought it was because I was missing source blocks. It's not. It's just the way it is. I dirted this thing out twice and redid it, making sure I filled everything as a source block. And it still just goes like this. It's just the way it is. This side it's like half and half. The way you could tell if you missed a source block is if you stand in it, it'll push you around. So I definitely don't got that going on. Now this thing can be used for anything. This is just an idea. I just happen to be using it as another charcoal maker. I really had nothing else to do with this. So, but you could build this with, I mean, you could use it for anything. This was just an idea to throw it out there, to show you the things you could do with chiseling and fluids. Couple of stats. This took, get ready for this, 285 raw chalk blocks. These chalk blocks. 285. I had no idea it was going to take that much. I had to go back to the quarry twice to make sure I had enough to keep getting more. Yeah, it was a lot of chiseling, which another thing I want to mention. this definitely should have been a 2 episode project because I feel like I was trying to cram it into a half hour that I didn't fully explain or show you what I was doing as I was doing it. So that's something I'm going to take into account next time. But that's about it. There it is. So I guess like the other one, I'll leave off. I'll load it up with wood, and I'll leave off with it the moment it turns the wood into charcoal, just to prove that it works. Let's get a good look on the inside too. That's it. Well, alright guys, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this build, and I will see you next time.